In 2025, a historical bombshell is set to explode. One that could rewrite a crucial chapter of World War II. For decades, the story of Rudolf Hess, Hitler's deputy, has been shrouded in mystery. We know he undertook a bizarre solo flight to Scotland in May 1941, claiming to be on a peace mission. But what if that was only a fraction of the truth? Get ready, because newly declassified documents are about to reveal a story far more complex and unsettling than the official narrative. Let's rewind to that fateful day. Hess, a man at the very heart of the Nazi regime, meticulously planned his audacious flight. He wasn't just some rogue agent having a breakdown, as many historians have been led to believe. He had spent months studying flight paths, weather patterns, and even practicing his parachute jump. His target was the estate of the Duke of Hamilton, a prominent Scottish aristocrat. Hess believed he could broker a peace deal between Germany and a powerful faction within the British elite who were sympathetic to his cause and wanted to end the war. Upon his dramatic arrival, landing by parachute in a field, he was quickly taken into custody. What happened next is where the official story begins to crumble. The British government, led by Winston Churchill, was publicly dismissive. They portrayed Hess as a delusional madman, a narrative that stuck for over 80 years. But behind the scenes, a very different game was being played. Hess was whisked away to a secret location, Mitchett Place, known as Camp Z. Here, he was subjected to intense interrogation not just by British intelligence, but also by figures who remain shadowy to this day. The official line was that Hess's peace proposals were nonsense and that he offered no valuable intelligence. He was an embarrassment to be managed. But the level of secrecy surrounding his captivity suggests something more. Why go to such extraordinary lengths to isolate one man? Why was the narrative of his mental instability pushed so aggressively? The British government's handling of Hess was unusually secretive, even for wartime. Records were sealed, access was heavily restricted, and a curtain of silence descended. After the war, Hess was tried at Nuremberg. Unlike other top Nazis who were executed or received shorter sentences, Hess was condemned to life in prison. He would spend the next 4 decades in Spandau prison in Berlin, a fortress-like jail managed jointly by the 4 Allied powers. For the last 21 years of his life, he was its sole inmate, a ghostly figure in a vast, empty prison. The cost of guarding this one old man was astronomical, running into millions of dollars a year. The Soviets repeatedly vetoed any calls for his release on humanitarian grounds. Why? What did Hess know that was so dangerous, so explosive, that he had to be silenced for the rest of his life? Over the years, disturbing questions began to surface. Some researchers, and even Hess's own family, began to doubt if the man in Spandau was even Rudolf Hess at all. There were claims of a body double, a doppelganger switched out early in his captivity. These theories were fueled by inconsistencies. The prisoner in Spandau refused to see his family for over 28 years. He also claimed to have amnesia about his entire past before his flight. Medical records from his early days in British custody mysteriously vanished, including dental records and chest X-rays that could have confirmed his identity. Was this a paranoid conspiracy theory, or a clue to a much deeper deception? The final dark chapter of this enigma came on August 17, 1987. The world was told that the 93-year-old Hess had taken his own life in a summer house within the prison grounds. The official cause of death was suicide by hanging, using an electrical cord. But the story immediately fell apart under scrutiny. How could a frail, elderly man, suffering from severe arthritis and barely able to lift his arms, manage to hang himself? His family and his lawyer were adamant it was murder. An independent autopsy commissioned by his family found evidence suggesting strangulation, not hanging. The summer house was demolished almost immediately after his death, destroying the crime scene. Once again, it felt like a cover-up. Was he silenced to prevent him from finally talking as the Cold War was thawing? This brings us to 2025. A trove of previously sealed documents from the UK National Archives is scheduled for release. Whispers from those who have seen preliminary catalogs suggest these papers will confirm our worst fears. The documents are expected to reveal that Hess was not acting alone. His peace mission was real, and it was coordinated with a powerful network of British aristocrats, politicians, and industrialists. A peace party that opposed Churchill and saw a negotiated settlement with Germany as preferable to a long war, even if it meant aligning with a monstrous regime. This network, with connections reaching into the royal family, was terrified of being exposed. When Hess arrived, he became a living, breathing liability. The official story of a madman was a carefully constructed lie to discredit him and bury the truth of this high-level collusion. Churchill's government, for the sake of national unity during the war, may have had no choice but to participate in the cover-up. The man in Spandau had to be kept under lock and key, not because of what he did in Germany, but because of who he knew in Britain. The implications are staggering. If these documents prove what many suspect, it means that for nearly a century, governments have actively conspired to manipulate the historical record. The accepted narrative of World War II, one of a unified Britain standing defiantly against tyranny, will be thrown into question. It reveals the uncomfortable truth that history is often shaped not by facts, but by the powerful who have a vested interest in controlling the story. The story of Rudolf Hess is more than just a historical curiosity. It's a chilling lesson in the power of state secrecy and the ease with which truth can be suppressed. It forces us to ask, what other official stories are just convenient fictions? What other dark secrets are still locked away in government archives, waiting for the clock to run out? As we approach 2025, we stand on the verge of a revelation that could change everything we thought we knew about the Second World War. The mystery of Hitler's deputy may finally be solved, but the truth isn't good. It's a testament to how far the powerful will go to protect their secrets. Stay tuned, because history is about to be rewritten. Thanks for watching, and if you found this intriguing, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of our past.